back and forth. More from Teofimo's side. You approached your father. You told him something. What is it that you told him? Because I know he was trying to like get some antics towards you, and it didn't get to you.
No, I just told him about himself. He know what I said, but he got to stop being a clown, you know? Like, everybody not with the clown antics and things like that just because he want to sell a fight. It's cool to sell a fight, but I'm not fighting. Leave me alone. I'm retired.
Give yourself time to reflect and appreciate how well you've done so far in your career?
No, not at all. I hate myself for it, but it's part of it. It's just part of the life.
Or appreciate it as well.
I don't appreciate it. That's why.
Right, yeah.
I don't. I think that I get butchered, and I think God punishes me a lot for it. So I'm just a punching bag to that. So one day I'll get, maybe one day, but not yet.
We appreciate you, though.
Yeah.
These guys appreciate you too.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I just never got my fair share. I never did. Not once, man.
That's the way you look at it.
Not once. But hey, that's just my journey. I guess I just never took on Baphomet, so I just gotta keep it.
Terence Crawford kept his tone calm, but when he responded to Teofimo Lopez's earlier remarks, the impact was firm and unmistakable. He didn't come across as emotional or heated. Instead, his response was rooted in principles and expectations rather than feelings.
Gotta put respect to it. To all my brothers and sisters, I love you guys. Always salute to the power that it be above. I thank you guys. I never wanted anything to harm you guys at all. So for that, my condolences to all you guys and to the slavery and everything that's ever happened mentally.
See, look, I look at it like this. It's a prime example. When life comes at you, it'll come at you in many ways, and you gotta treat it like a champ. That's it. You gotta treat it like a champ. Tell yourself it's okay. I learned from it, and I treat it like a champ every time. So, if you're going through hard times in your life, whether it's from any sports or academics or anything like that, it's okay. You're still a champ.
Crawford explained it from his perspective like this: verbal sparring has always been part of the sport. But once the language turns into racial shots and harmful stereotypes, it stops being promotion. At that point, it reflects more on the person saying it than the fight itself.
Has apologized for slavery because of all of the disrespect and the racist comments he was given. Bud Crawford calling him a monkey, the N-word with the hard ER, etc., etc., etc. Who knew all Teo needed was an whooping? Well, Shakur gave him exactly.
That point carries weight because Crawford isn't just another online commentator. He's an elite, pound-for-pound level fighter who has been through the full journey of the sport and knows how pre-fight words can come back to matter once the bout actually begins.
Played it all of it, so you know exactly what you're doing. You tried to play that game, making racist remarks, and I said, I'm not feeling it. I don't like when Ryan Garcia did it. I'm not understanding that type of stuff at all. I stand firm on that. When Terence Crawford seen this after this last match, when he got dominated, Shakur Stevenson put down the complete demonstration. He didn't get but one round. Terence Crawford went up. You know, they had the little situation where they was about to get into it and stuff and said, hey, they mad. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. F them. FTO, F his daddy, F his sister, and anyone else that has a problem.
Lopez also had a track record of criticizing black fighters, doubting why promoters backed them, and making dismissive remarks about their achievements. Those past statements didn't just fade away. They built up over time. After the defeat, when he eventually spoke out, his words about consequences and self-evaluation carried the weight of everything that had come before.
First of all, you don't joke about people's trauma. Second of all, it ain't even funny. So you know why he was doing it. He was purposefully being racist. So you get what you deserve. Teo was complaining about ESPN signing black fighters. From Devin Haney to Shakur to Shushu to Keyshawn. Ironically, they all won, and Teo is the only one that lost. They all won in impressive fashions, becoming champions, etc. Teofimo Lopez is the only one that lost in an embarrassing fashion.
No matter how someone views the idea of karma, the sport often settles disrespect through what happens under the lights. Once the fight started, the conversation shifted completely, and Shakur Stevenson let his performance speak for him. From the first round, he didn't only win exchanges, he stayed mentally ahead. Each fake drew a reaction, and every aggressive move from Teofimo was guided into the wrong decision.
But no, it was a hell of a night. Teo, he came and tried to do his best, but his best wasn't enough.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I thought Teo, he came, he brought it, but you were just not much better. I was so impressed by the range control, the balance, the discipline in there. How did you feel in there?
I knew since the second round it was over. I went back to my corner. I told him, I said, I'm stronger than he is. And when I seen that, it just gave me more confidence, and it was my night.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you filled out really well, 140. You looked really strong in there, big. Is this your best weight class?
I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna be at 140. I have no clue. I'm gonna go back to the drawing board and sit down and scan myself. I'm gonna watch the fight, see how I like it, and we'll see.
Teofimo appeared out of sync and irritated, constantly trailing the action against an opponent who seemed to have already figured him out. The difference wasn't power or grit. It came down to precision, ring awareness, and planning. Stevenson controlled the contest so smoothly that a past title holder was made to look average, all without showboating. That kind of quiet control is the most decisive form of superiority.
Saw how hard you trained in there. It showed in the ring, the discipline, the shape you were in. You had great cardio. Looked like you could have gone, 18 rounds.
I could have. That was easy. I actually was picking it up as it go, but T.O., he fought to not get stopped, so respect to him.
Wait, respect for fighting to not get stopped?
I mean, he could have got stopped in there. It was almost over at a couple of times.
Isn't that more respect, maybe? I
mean, he's a tough fighter.
Yeah.
He got power, too. Speed, too.
So that cut you opened up. That was what, precision?
That was me just being the best. Hey, Mike, you about to get...
Looking back at the sequence, Crawford addressing the disrespect, Teofimo later re-examining his direction, and Stevenson putting on a technical showcase, many observers see a clear through line. It doesn't come off as random. It feels like the sport following its usual pattern. Say whatever you want beforehand, but in the end, the outcome inside the ropes gives the real verdict.
Just what was it like in there? How come you didn't really feel like you could get into the rhythm and such? I mean, just your perspective on it.
Yeah, I think I was just honestly too focused on one particular objective, one particular thing, than really enjoying what I could see opening. I was catching him a lot with the body shots a lot, so I think that was one of my effective arsenals that was getting him every time. But I think just more combinations, especially finish with left hooks and stuff. I did poorly on not listening to my team. That's on me. Take it on the chin.
Immediately after Stevenson put on a clear display of timing, distance, and command, Teofimo Lopez SR came forward with his reaction, speaking like someone trying to make sense of damage that had already been done. What stands out is that he begins by claiming things were under control, but then quickly describes a situation that clearly was. He repeatedly points to sparring sessions, the game plan, and the expected approach, and that's where the inconsistency shows. When he says his son didn't follow the instructions, the deeper message is that their strategy fell apart once it met Shakur's ring intelligence.
The sparring sessions were like what motivated me to this fight. That I was 100% sure who was gonna win. For some reason, the game plan, my son didn't do what I told him he was supposed to do.
You can sense the tension in his voice when he brings up timing and the need to disrupt Stevenson's natural flow, because that alone describes the core challenge of the matchup. He also suggests that headlines, online discussion, and talk about future opponents may have distracted Teofimo. That explanation isn't unreasonable, but it also reveals a deeper point. The setback wasn't mainly about physical ability, it came down to mindset. When he mentions that the power didn't show up, it sounds less like fatigue and more like uncertainty in the moment.
How you gonna fight, a fight when everybody wants you to lose? You understand what I'm saying? And I don't know what happened. It just looked like all his powers were not there. Like everything was like that we planned, everything that he did in sparring, everything that we planned to do was not there.
When he emphasizes that Teofimo wasn't seriously damaged and completed all 12 rounds, it comes across more like a father defending his son's image than a trainer calmly analyzing the tactical battle. The most revealing moment is when he acknowledges that Teofimo can be thrown off mentally, since Stevenson didn't need to land something big early. Creating uncertainty was enough. Senior also repeats the idea that people were rooting against his son. Yet in this sport, the real strain usually comes from an opponent who keeps taking away your choices in real time. He also points to a sequence in the 8th where he believes Stevenson was in trouble, but that moment quickly passed as Stevenson regained structure and controlled the action again.
All the greats have lost and they have come back and they have done great. So, we're here and we're gonna stay. He's still 28 years old. He's still not in his prime, and we're coming back stronger than ever. Next time I think he's ready to go to 140.
Then the conversation shifts to the move up to 147 pounds, the familiar post-defeat narrative of a bigger weight class, a fresh beginning, and new challenges. But the truth is, changing divisions doesn't fix reaction time, focus, or the ability to adjust under pressure. Teofimo SR comes across as devoted, emotional, protective, and sincere, yet caught in a cycle of justifications that sidestep the simplest reality. Stevenson didn't win because Teofimo faltered. He won because he was sharper mentally, quicker to read the fight, and always a step ahead before Teofimo could even respond.
We hurt Shakur, I think in the 8th round, and he was hurt for about 2 rounds, and he let him come back. The whole plan was not to exchange with him. The whole plan was not to box with him. But I guess, it worked to Shakur's benefit, and congratulations to him and to his team. And we got to move to better things, you know what I'm saying? It's not the end of the world. Regroup and come back. He's the greatest. He's one of the greatest fighters right now in the business, and let's see what happens, in the future.
Right after Teofimo Lopez SR frames the defeat like it was a glitch in the system rather than a complete takeover, Tim Bradley steps in and basically says, "Not quite, you're missing the really dangerous part." Bradley isn't debating that Stevenson won. He's pointing out just how little of his full skill set was actually on display. That's the remarkable detail. When Bradley calls it an incomplete package, it's not hype, it's a caution. He's viewing Shakur the same way seasoned fighters once regarded a young Crawford. You're still in the loading screen. What makes it even more striking is that Bradley frames it around confidence, not raw power. He's noting that Stevenson already reads everything, reacts to everything, and counters everything, but hasn't yet activated that switch where he decides to stop playing and finish the fight. That level of control is genuinely unsettling.
Still growing as a fighter. He's still growing as a man. He's not even at his peak yet. Let me say that again. He's not at his peak yet. The minute Shakur gets confident enough, because you heard it after when he was just like, I could have stopped him, but he started fighting back. The minute he gets confident enough, man, I'm telling y'all, he gonna stop a lot of fighting.
Bradley even highlights that Stevenson admitted he could have finished Teofimo earlier, but deliberately chose to maintain control. That shows this wasn't a fight that was merely survived. It was managed with precision. Every time Teofimo tried to make a move, Bradley points out he was met with a counter. Every attempt to load up ended in hesitation. At one moment, Bradley bluntly says Teofimo fought like an amateur, not from lack of skill, but because his mind was overloaded. That's a sign of elite-level dominance. Then Bradley drops a comparison that hits hard, Terence Crawford. Not in terms of brute strength or aggression, but in that signature moment when Crawford stops solving puzzles and simply ends the challenge. That's the trajectory Bradley sees for Stevenson, not fully realized yet, but on the path. This is the crucial distinction from Teofimo SR's breakdown. SR focuses on strategies and timing. Bradley frames it as inevitability. One man looks backward, explaining what happened. The other looks forward, predicting what's coming. If Bradley's assessment holds, the Shakur Stevenson we witnessed wasn't the ultimate version. It was just a glimpse. And that's a daunting thought for anyone else in the division.
Shakur turned Teofimo Lopez into an amateur fighter. Didn't even leave first gear. This is not the best Shakur Stevenson. I'm telling you guys. I said this after the Cepeda fight. When Shakur put it all together, I'ma tell y'all when he puts it all together. When he put it all together, I promise you, it's gonna be crazy. Y'all gonna be like, oh my God. Yeah. Shakur Stevenson, Terence Crawford. I didn't have to be in the ring with Terence.
Brian McIntyre steps in and shifts the perspective entirely. Because Bolmack isn't looking for excuses, he's assessing levels. When he calls Stevenson's performance a masterpiece, it doesn't read like typical post-fight praise. It's a coach recognizing precision and execution at the highest level. I especially like how he immediately directs it toward the next generation. If you're a young fighter wanting to learn boxing properly, rewind this fight and study it. When he admits he knew Stevenson would dominate from the moment the bout was announced, it's not a slight against Teofimo. It's acknowledgement of how elite styles interact. Then he breaks down the corner perspective. When Bolmack says that nothing Teofimo tried would work, it's brutal honesty. It's not that they made mistakes. The reality was there simply wasn't a path forward. And when he reiterates that Stevenson has a brilliant boxing mind, it dovetails perfectly with what Bradley highlighted earlier. This fight wasn't about raw speed or power. It was about processing faster and staying steps ahead.
Masterpiece, man. He looked so smooth, calm, and relaxed, man. That was beautiful. That was the one boxing lesson that you future guys, young guys and amateurs just turning pro, watch that, man. That was beautiful.
When you were watching it, did you feel like right away, like, oh, like Shakur's gonna run away with this?
Well, I kind of figured that when they said they was gonna fight each other, so I knew Shakur was gonna dominate him, but they must hype the fight up.
Bomac even quips that the smartest way to handle Stevenson might just be to avoid him altogether. And truthfully, that might be the most accurate scouting insight anyone's offered. But what makes this segment truly compelling is how effortlessly Bomac shifts the focus to Terence Crawford. When he says Bud has nothing left to prove, it doesn't feel sentimental. It feels earned. 3 undisputed title runs, dominance across multiple divisions, and choosing to walk away on his own terms. That's conquering boxing itself, not just opponents. Bolmac's description of training with Crawford like a classroom carries real weight here, because you can sense the continuity. The same environment that developed Bud's ring IQ is now shaping Stevenson's path. So while Teofimo SR remains focused on regrouping and moving up in weight, Bomac is already thinking in terms of eras. Stevenson at 135, 140, maybe even higher. Bud retiring, Stevenson rising, different stages, same system. And if you listen carefully, the takeaway is clear. This wasn't a fluke. It was a masterclass in learning.
Just the way he dominates this fighter. There's never been a fight that Terence had that's been suspect or they wanted to run it back or something like that. There's not one fighter. Most of the fighters that he fought, he ended their career. Or they never was the same fighter after he fought them. Just look at it. Look at it, man. The last 3 guys, man, look what he did to them. The last 4 or 5 guys. Jesus Christ.
When you put it all together, the picture becomes crystal clear. Terence Crawford enforced the standards and called out the disrespect. Shakur Stevenson responded in the only way that truly matters, inside the ring. And everyone else has been left processing the aftermath. Teofimo didn't simply lose a fight. He ran headfirst into a collision of talk, identity, preparation, and reality. His father is still piecing together explanations. Tim Bradley cautions that the Stevenson we saw wasn't the finished product. And BMAC calmly breaks down what elite-level boxing looks like when talent is paired with discipline. That's the overarching theme. This wasn't chaos, controversy, or coincidence. It was clear separation. Stevenson didn't need to be loud, explosive, or flashy to dominate. He just needed the right timing and space, and once he had it, the division suddenly felt smaller. The most striking part, everyone involved is essentially sending the same message in their own way. This isn't peak Shakur yet. That's not hype, that's a prediction. And no matter where Teofimo goes next, 147 pounds or beyond, it won't erase what just happened. Boxing has a way of holding on to its lessons, even when fighters try to outrun them.
I had to do was watching my eyes and hear the same thing that I said about Crawford, the way Crawford said about Shakur, and how confident he is in Shakur because he's been in the ring with Shakur and he knows what Shakur can do. That's all.
Now it's your turn. Share your take in the comments, really dive into this one. Was it all about skill, mentality, fate, or a combination of everything hitting at once? And don't forget to hit like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Catch you in the next one.